Sadly, you were bitten by the Queen of Darkness, who was moonlighting in bat form at the time. And now you are cursed, doomed to live as a creature of the night forever, unless you can break the spell by dawn. How do you do that? By killing her, of course. Night creatures. Look, I enjoy a good horror video game, and back in the day, this title actually intrigued me. You all know that it's notorious for being just awful, but let me compose myself and review. Night Creatures is a horizontally scrolling, somewhat non-linear, action somewhat game, and your goal is to simply fight your way to the end. You have one life, with a vitality meter at the bottom left, and with quirks galore, you'll be losing that health quickly. There is health scattered about or after defeating enemies that will help you regain a little. You also have to complete the game before you permanently transform. So yeah, it's timed. Thanks, game. You can walk to the right or left, often going inside locations or underground. Some areas you don't even need to visit. They just waste your time as it ticks away. You begin with a powerful punch. That is, if the hit detection is in your favor that day. You can also collect various weapons, such as a club, a silver axe, a crossbow, etc. Some you won't even use, and some are for maybe one purpose, such as the rifle that is used to defeat one of the final bosses in one hit. Don't even get me started on that ridiculous ending section. Hitting select allows you to arm a main weapon as well as a secondary weapon, such as an oil lamp or holy water. Well, it might take multiple tries to arm these items, as your inputs don't always work. There are a few people you'll meet along the way, including the wise woman who provides tips. Often you won't be able to move to the next screen, though, because you're waiting for her to show up. Oh, come on. The shopkeeper appears on only one screen and offers you items, mixing things up with each visit. You also have to wait for him to slowly run into the screen. Finally, you have what the manual calls your girlfriend. She doesn't do much of anything but get freaked out by your newly transmitted health issue. Wow, thanks for the support, Cupcake. Jeez. You can collect talismans, such as garlic, a cross, etc., that appear to do something, but honestly, I've never found much of any use for them. As you defeat bosses, you are given a new transformation ability. Cool. Or it should be, but they're all sloppy to control and serve almost zero purpose. Let's try the wolf. Wow, that worked well. Ah, I see. He's only good for one thing. Okay, let's try the owl. Fly. Fly already. Aha, he's also only good for one thing. The badger? Yep, you guessed it, one thing. Honestly, I never found a use for the bear. Transforming is really the game's major gimmick, and yet it is immensely underused and boring. Plus, you lose health while you're transformed, so trust me, it's just not worth it. Okay, pause. You notice a pattern here? I mention something the game offers, and then, poof, immediately talk about why it's executed so horribly. It's one of those games where you question how it ever got released. You know, maybe that's the joke. Maybe I'm literally missing the point of this game. I mean, I'm so stupid, I can't believe that. No, that's not it. Night Creatures looks quite colorful, and some stylistic choices aren't bad. The font used is cool, for example. There are a few background layers going on, adding a little dimension, which is nice. although items you need will often blend into the ground. Oh, is that an axe? Okay. Some bosses look really cool and character-filled, but other details are flat. Ironically, the coolest animation happens after you die. But don't worry, you'll see that a lot. The sound effects are rather bland, consisting of this, and this. I'll admit, however, the music is pretty good. It creates a nice mood and fits the game well. The sad part is, there are only a couple of tunes in the entire game, constantly repeating themselves over and over. Bummer. You move around with the directional key, attacking with button 2 and jumping with button 1. Some of it is a bit delayed, but the attacks are quick and swift. Using run and button 2 together will throw any explosive weapons you have selected, which you'll need for certain enemies and bosses. As mentioned, the hit detection is ridiculous in both your enemies and yourself. And holy hell, is that frustrating. Oftentimes, you'll end up getting bounced back and forth between enemies without being able to regain your composure. And don't even get me started on those hands. Thing, I swear to God. Is this game so bad it's good? Some would say yes, but no, it's not. Now, I won't lie, I spent enough time on it figuring out how to defeat the game, even when I was a kid. Why? Because once you do, you can literally fly through it in less than 20 minutes. Either that, or I'm just a glutton for punishment. How many times have you heard me say that? And it's a struggle when it's a nightmare to play, no pun intended. The game is also somewhat cryptic. Damn it, did it again. And I'm not sure it's worth the stress figuring it out. You can save the game after you die before you continue. So basically, you have 3 extra chances and need to maximize your time before you save. There is something bizarre and slightly endearing about this game that pulls you in. The areas you traverse are kinda cool and some enemies are quirky and funny, but it's so bad that after a while, you'll want to toss it through a window. Or perhaps question your own sanity. Alright, there's another death. Well, let's Yep, the game crashed. That's There's nothing more to say. Night Creatures is a bad game. A few bright spots shine through, and if you're a nut job like me, you might feel some weird challenge in trying to beat it. Figuring out when to transform, where to go, what weapons to use would be fun if the game played halfway decent. Have a happy Halloween, my TurboViews friends, and keep it happy by staying away from this.